ReefDudes is sponsored by Ecotech Marine and Bulk Reef Supply. Today we're talking about resetting a reef tank. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now, my tank has been going in very well, but that comes with its own set of issues. Now, don't get me wrong, the tank is looking pretty awesome, but there is problems of one, everything growing into itself. But one of the bigger problems is I can barely clean the glass anymore because I break off branches of corals every time I clean the glass. So it's almost getting too packed. And if I look in here, like, this thing is absolutely massive. You know, it's growing to everything else. If I look at whatever that one Millie is there, you know, he's growing to the purple one. You got the spatulata on the side. Again, everything's growing into each other. I got my Walt Disney there, and it's being surrounded on, you know, all sides. You know, the purple one and the blue one are merging together. So some of these things, I'm like, do I let nature do its thing and just merge into one big crazy coral, or is it time to start pruning stuff back? Now, another bit of consideration here, I did kind of cause a bit of chaos on the structure here. This half of it, I kind of broke it off accidentally. I was fragging a couple chunks of gonnies out from my nano tank, and I ended up breaking this rock structure. This whole thing teetered over and kind of broke its cantilevered. Now, just because this coral, it is massive. Like, that's a lot of weight on this rock that never used to be there. So again, that's messing with some of the stuff with my escape. Now, my other consideration is I miss seeing the sand bed. I kind of want to lighten it up a little bit so I have a little more sand bed space in there. There's some corals that I would like not be in the tank, like those minty zoas. You know, so part of me wants to rid those. You know, certain mushrooms and stuff, they're just getting to be a little bit much. But one of the bigger things that's been on my mind, if we look down the side of the tank, look at all my tanks. But if we look down there, you can see how close all those corals are to the glass. And I break off a ton of stuff. You can see this almost a flat wall. It seems like literally every time I try and clean the glass, you know, I'm breaking off branches because there's just no space anymore. And the other thing that bugs me a bit is it's hard to clean the glass. You can see all like the bits of green and bits, you know, nasty stuff building up. Because again, it's so hard to get a razor in there anymore to give it a proper cleaning. So this is all these kind of considerations that's starting to lead me to think, you know, is it time to give the tank a bit of a reset? Now, it wouldn't be a full reset. It's probably more of a extreme pruning, maybe, you know, tone down the rock a bit. Like, you can just see how much everything is growing into each other, and there's just such a lack of space in here now. But it looks awesome and also slightly chaotic. So it's a bit of a trade-off. So I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think. You know, is it time to give it a massive pruning, maybe mix up the rock structures a bit? Do I just prune it, or do I give it like a really heavy one? And, you know, kind of let's give some stuff room to breathe in here. That's kind of what I've been debating the past few days. So a little bit curious to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think, you know, like more of the overgrown jungle, let everything grow into each other? Or do you like more of the bonsai style reef tank where everything, you know, has its own little sections and it's not, you know, necessarily merging together to an extent? So I've really been toying. I think I might leave this rock structure alone and just really prune back the corals and just make more breathing room for all the corals. This one, since I've kind of broke it off, I still got to figure out what to do it. I'm almost debating merging this half with that half and then making more open space on this side of the tank. This is something that I'm kind of toying with. Kind of remove that middle section, suck it up, and then have a bit of a gap between this little floating peninsula rock possibly, and then have a lot more open space here. So that's one potential idea. The other part of me debated doing, you know, some whole new structures in here, but I don't know if I want to lose all that good, lovely long-term bacteria in the tank or not. And again, I want to get rid of those minty zoas. That might be a bit of a pain to peel those out of there. I know sometimes you can take, you know, some tweezers and start pulling and hopefully get them, but we'll see how that one plays out. But yeah, this is one of the considerations, you know, all those chasing, you know, high pH and all that jazz, which makes stuff grow well. But there comes a point where stuff grows really well and it starts to take over the tank. And yeah, that's definitely a consideration. If I could magically make my tank, you know, 6 inches or a foot wider, I would love to and just have that extra space. But that's a lot more work. So we got to work with what we got. So we got to figure out a way to make this work out. And it's probably going to become a very heavy trimming / slight rescape. So still toying that off. If you guys have any great suggestions, let me know in the comments below what you think we should do with it. But I think this is something along this plan is going to be the the near future of the Waterbox Peninsula. But overall, things still do look awesome despite it turning into a jungle. But I think we can make it look better. So this is gonna be the next little bit of challenge. All right, guys, this is just a bit of a mini update on the slight chaos going on inside my reef tank and some potential plans just to get her back to a pristine, really funky look again. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you got any really cool ideas on what I should kind of do to revamp the tank a bit, let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely open for ideas. I have a general game plan, but I know there's still a lot of tweaking to kind of figure out in my head before I actually start pull the trigger and get things going. I think I'm gonna fire off an ICP test of both this tank and the office tank and just make sure everything's happy before I actually start pruning and moving stuff over. And we'll go from there. All right, guys, catch you on the next video.